Well, welcome to the launch of the Alberta Conference Online Wills Program. It's the third option for making an affordable will that's right for you. We have a year-round program with some reimbursement, and in 2013, we launched Wills at Camp, which gives members a free will, a free lawyer-drafted will. Well, what's happened is, since 2013, we've helped more than 500 members create a lawyer-drafted will with the assistance of a professional lawyer. But we can't keep up with the demand for wills at camp. So because of my personal experience, and I might say a very difficult experience, of working with the estates of two brothers that passed away without wills, I began to look for ways to expand what the conference can do to help people make a will that's right for them and that they can afford. And I found an online program which was created by a lawyer and is backed by a lawyer. And that is the Epilogue program. Are you seeing a thread running through what the conference does with wills? Lawyers actually do play a very important role in not only making sure that a will is legally enforceable, but that it is actually tailored and fits the individual and their situation. Is the online option, the Epilogue option, right for everyone? Well, no, actually it's not. For example, if you have a child with special needs, this is not for you. If the program recognizes an answer that thinks it puts you outside of the simple will category, it will kick you out. And that's actually a good thing. When you came in, you received a couple of handouts. This one, entitled The New Simple Online Will, outlines sort of the steps that you take and also your options. With this online option, you can also create an enduring power of attorney and a personal directive. That's new. On the bottom, there is something that says, leave a legacy, make a difference. And I included this. It's a link and a short story about a family that did leave a legacy, the parents left a legacy, and the experience of the family, the children that were left. Many times, people wonder how their families would react if they leave a gift to the church. And I'm sure it varies from family to family somewhat, but what I try to do, if the gift is unrestricted, that means it's not dedicated for a specific program or an outreach of some sort that's designated in the will. When the conference wants to use those funds, I reach out to the family and I try to make sure that they're comfortable, that this reflects their loved one and what they cared about. And so Shelley Nolan Friesland was kind enough to let us share her story. So it's a 1-minute story. I hope you take a look at it. Also online is the second handout that you received. And it says Willpower. It's a seminar about wills that I've done many times, but on the back, this is what's really important for you when you're doing wills online. It's an organization checklist. And it's all the things you need to think about before you go online to make your will. All the questions that you need to answer. So keep that handy. And, that takes us to what we're going to do for the rest of the time we have together. Rupa is going to do a live demonstration of creating a will online. And if you have questions while she's doing that about the computer process, raise your hand and an usher will come and you can share your question. If your question pertains to wills or the content of will, things that are on this card, we'll take those questions after the demonstration. So Rupa, take it away.
Thank you. Check. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I would rather say thank you for your interest in wanting to learn about the one-time only online wills presentation. Thanks, Lynn, for that great introduction, and I would really like to thank the IT, the production team, for making this possible. The recording especially, because this is surely going to be useful for the future reference, because many people have already been asking us about this. Okay, so by now you all know that we come from the Department of Plant Giving and Philanthropy, Alberta Conference. Just as a little piece of introduction to this, just so you know, the earliest dated wills go back to very ancient civilizations. For example, the Roman civilization. They have done a will in order to safeguard a person's property and to protect a person from financial ruin. So you all know by now that wills have been really dated back to earlier and ancient civilizations. But did you know that online wills have been in existence from the past 20 years? Online wills in countries like the USA, in the European Union, Australia, UK, and so on. So today, anyways, as Lynn has already introduced you all to this online will platform called Epilogue that the Alberta Conference has partnered with, and we will go straight into it. We are diving right now. It's just a click away, and this process is going to help tailor a specific will according to one's needs. So you go to the conference website, as you see on the screen, click on the departments, go to Departments and Ministries. Please scroll down. You will see all the departments, and the names are in alphabetical order. Go down to our department, Plant Giving. And when you click on that, as you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the team there. But as you go, you have something called additional links. And then you would click on the online will. Now, once you click on that, it has a little information there, but we will go right into the process. So we'll say, start my will. Yes, and when you do that, continue. I'm basically doing a demo so that, and also this is recorded so that people will always get back to it and look into it and see how this could be done. So let's start with an easy one here. Where do you currently live? Alberta, of course. Do you have a spouse or partner? Yes. Do you have any children? Yes. Do you have children with anyone other than your current spouse or partner? I would say no. But if you say yes here, well, I can show you. I'll read the question again. Do you have children with anyone other than your current spouse or partner? If I say yes, then it's going to kind of kick you out, as Lynn said, which means you will be referred to a consultation with one of the lawyers here. None of these lawyers here look familiar to us, but we are going to incorporate some of our familiar lawyers onto here so it's easier. So anyway, this is how it works. So we'll go back for now. For now, we are making a very simple demo of the will. So do you have children with anyone other than your current spouse or partner? No. Okay, so does anyone in your immediate family service receive government disability? No. And then it says, Epilogue can help you create a basic will. And then we would go continue. When we do that, it asks to create an account. Creating an account is very easy. I'm going to show you again. And this is needed so. Don't forget, this is an online will platform, and we do it at the comfort of our couch, in our own home. So if you have anything, cooking in the kitchen, you can just do it for 5 minutes here, leave it on pause, go back. If the computer shuts down, you can log back in because your information is all saved under your account. That's one main reason why we have to create an account. And another reason is this. By creating an account, it allows us to do a number of free updates for a lifetime. You know how wills are done, and later after 5 years, situations at home change and how people come to make a change in the will, and that also is an expensive process. So doing this eliminates that cost option for us. Okay, so create an account. I'm just going to use my email address for now. And then I agree to the terms and conditions. Okay, so I have created an account, and I continue. Okay, so one more thing before we continue. It says, a will deals with what happens after someone dies. Most people also make a plan in case they become incapable of making decisions for themselves while they're still alive. Is this something you would like to do? Now, will is one part of this process, but Epilogue, this platform, also allows us to do a living will. A living will includes 2 documents. For most of you, some of you have already been asking us about this. 2 documents. One is enduring power of attorney. This helps in caring for one's financial matters. And the other one is a personal directive that really kind of supports medical care. If at all a person is in an irreversible terminal condition, it covers things like artificial respiration, tube feeding, do not resuscitate orders, and so on. All these details are given in the handout as well, just so you know. So for now, I'm going to skip all that. I'm just going to do one simple will because of the time constraint. So no, I need only a will. Okay, and then, my full name. I enter that. And then save and continue. If you saw the option save, which means it saves in your, which of these apply to you and your partner? We are married. What's your date of birth? I'll just say January 1. I'll go 19. I'm not giving my real birth date, so don't plan for any gifts for me, please. Okay. Where in Alberta do you live? Red Deer. Don't look at my caps and all. I'm just trying to make it fast. So, what gender? I'm a female. Any pets? No. Do you have any registered RESPs? No. Do you have any other registered investment accounts? I would say, RRSP for sure. Save and continue. Do you currently have life insurance? I'll say I'm not sure. Do you have any real estate in Canada? Yes. Do you have real estate outside Canada? I wish, but no. So this is all the basics. You see, this is the list of all that we have done. It gives us the option, if at all I have entered anything wrong, I can just check this. And if I did anything wrong, I can click on edit options, as you see. Next to each line, and then I can make a change and then continue. So for now, we are doing a continue. Now it says, let's talk about your family. Partner's name. This is real. How should your partner be referred in your will? My husband. Save and continue. In Alberta, every adult needs their own will. So this is an option again. Do you want us to help Manoj make his will as well? I would say yes. And then it asks for Manoj's email address. So that Epilogue automatically sends my husband an email inviting him to do a will as well, to fill in his specific information. It's very legal that every person does their own information, and I cannot do it for my husband, because his will is different from my will. So save and continue. Children's names. Don't worry, my girls are here. I'm doing it wrong, but don't worry. It's just for the sake of a demo, okay? And then I'm not adding any child. I'm just doing one child for now. And then it gives, again, a debrief of what I've done. So I continue. I'm sorry I have to do this quick because of the time constraint. Okay, now it's time to decide who you would trust to look after your loved ones. This person is called a guardian. Because my child is minor, the computer automatically asks for a guardianship. So I would give guardian's full name. Lynn says she's honored. Okay. Where's a friend? Okay. Then save and continue. Okay, I can also name an alternate guardian, but I'm skipping it for now. No thanks. And then we go to the next part. Here you'll have the opportunity to create a lasting charitable impact with your will. And then it says, do you want to include a gift to Alberta Conference? It can always be a yes, it can always be a no. I would say a no for now. Are there any other charities you'd like to leave gifts in your will? Let me say yes. And then I'll just show you how to add a charity. Any ideas for charities? Okay, there is a list here down. Otherwise, you can always search and say, ADRA Canada, great, thank you, Pastor Rod. That helps me. ADRA Canada, and you see, as soon as I type ADRA, it shows up there, so I'll click on ADRA Canada. Then add charity, and then it says, do you want to give a dollar amount or do you want to give a percentage amount? Sorry? Yes, please. Local church, usually, yes.
Okay, here we are. Yes, you can leave a gift to the local church. I believe, let's look for Red Deer. Let's look for the Red Deer Church, see if you can.
Okay, we can try that.
Red Deer
Then I'll add another charity here.
But it's certainly something that the Alberta Conference would honor. We encourage you to take care of your churches.
So there you go. It says Red Deer Seventh-day Adventist Church, but down it shows Lacombe just because it falls under the conference.
But it does have a different registration number, and even if that's a charitable number,
right?
Because lawyers like to see that. But even if we don't have that registration number, if we have the name of the congregation, that's enough for us.
You can always direct it to the Alberta Conference and then to be directed to the local church as well. Okay, so yeah, I do this, and it asks for a dollar amount or a percentage. I can do whatever. For now, I'm just going to change my mind. I'm deleting my charities, and I'm going to go continue. Okay, this is incomplete, missing information, which means I had to add a charity. Okay. I mean, because I said yes first. Had I said no, it wouldn't ask me. Okay, I will give, I'll give it $20,000. Okay, and then it shows the debrief of what I have given. And then I continue. Okay, now let's talk about who gets what. Under your will, Manoj, my husband, will inherit your money, property, and other assets if he outlives you. If Manoj dies before you, everything will be split equally between your children after you die. That's part of a simple will process. A family with kids, this is how it is. Okay, I would say yes, so that's what I want, so yes. Now, if Manoj dies before you, at what age should your kids get control over their inheritance? Because we asked for a guardianship. There is an age, I would say age 21. And then, this is always an unlikely question we ask. If you outlive Manoj, all your children, and all your other direct descendants who should receive your remaining assets when you die, then what happens? Then I would say I would add a charity. Then I would give it to the Alberta Conference. Then I would add that okay, sorry, this is going double, but okay, I would save and continue. When it comes to your personal stuff or household things, these stay with Manoj. However, if there's something special you'd like to leave for someone else, this is your chance. So is this something you want to do? I would say no for now because I'm saving time. And then that's the debrief of what I've done, and then continue. Now that you've set out your wishes, it's time to decide who will see them through. In this section, you will choose your executor, who's also called a personal representative. So do you want Manoj to be the person in charge? I would say yes. If you'd like, you can appoint a co-executor. I would say I do not want to appoint a co-executor. Now, if Manoj cannot act as your executor, you can name an alternate. I would say I do not want to appoint one for now. And that's all what I did. You can always go back, make a change, edit. You can see that here. There's back button, there's continue button for forward. So nicely done. We are ready to generate your documents. This is a very simple will. Now, let's see, generate documents. This could take up to 30 seconds. And this is where it'll ask for payment information. And the payment details are in the handout that is given to you guys. So I'll say I'll print the documents myself. And then, for both of us, the fee is displayed there for $269. This includes both wills. And this is wills only. If you want the other living will documents, it's a little extra cost, and it's in the handout given to you. So I need to enter the payment details here, and then it generates the will documents. Do you want to see how the document looks, or is this okay? Any questions so far? I tried to hurry up. I don't know how much time is left, but. That was pretty fast. That was 2 minutes or less. Okay.
So you also have the option, if you don't want to print it yourself, they will mail it to you,
right.
A printed copy. So there's that option. The simple will, as you may have noticed, it's after the charities, every child gets the same amount. There may be reasons why you don't want to do that, but that's not an option here.
Yes. Once the payment is made, it says, the documents are ready to be generated. It says review, and then it would say print, and then it will say sign. You need to follow all the instructions in there to make it a legally valid document, because without signatures, it doesn't work. So we would say yes for all the instructions there, and then I will have them ready for me. Yes, any questions, anything?
Okay.
Can you make duplicates with what's available on the computer?
You can make photocopies, but there's only one original will. So after you sign it and get it properly witnessed according to the instructions, you can make photocopies of that. But there's only one original will, and that's what your bank will want to see. And if it has to go to probate because of the size of the estate or what's in the estate, they will want the original copy with your original ink signature.
And can I go back online and change something, like you said, 5 years from now? Do I have to repay again, or is that one-time
No, it's
payment?
included in this one-time fee. You can make updates.
It's a free update for lifelong. That's part of the package. Yeah, so this is how the will looks anyway, if you're interested. But this is not valid till the signatures are all done. It has a space, witness 1, witness 2, and my signature with my initials, RM. And then it puts in all the legal language it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
When you do your part and your spouse needs to do another part, if you do the 2-part thing, how does your spouse do their part?
Okay, so
You went through and said, yes, spouse,
right.
but from there, how does the spouse tie into that?
Right, thank you for the question. So as soon as I said yes, it asked for the spouse's email address. And I gave that email address. So what Epilogue does is send an email to my spouse saying that your spouse has done her part and now it's your time. And then it will give them a link in the email. So my spouse can just get into that email, open that link, create another email from his own side, and then complete it.
You can share information with your spouse. You can tell them what, yeah, I mean, usually most spouses will confer with each other about how they want to, have things divided after they both passed away. So probably your spouse will know what you've put in the will, or if you don't want them to know, you don't have to tell them. Because each individual has their own will.
Question.
Can you explain the second option on the flyer? It says for couples.
Thank you. Option 2 for couples. Yes. Okay, option 1 is just the will. If you say yes after you do the will, it will take you into these other documents. And these are not required, by law, it's not required. A will makes things a lot easier for your family. But it's become, in the last 10 years or so, it's become common for lawyers to do all 3 documents together. The enduring power of attorney covers if you don't have the capacity to take care of your own business, financial affairs, this document sets out who you want to take care of them. And the personal directive comes into effect, again, if you don't have the mental capacity to make decisions about where you live, how often you get your hair cut, and healthcare issues, including, potentially life-threatening situations. So that's one feature that is really kind of nice about this. So it takes care of you in the event that you can't make decisions anymore.
So my wife has to make the decision for me to take care of her, or that's just if both of us?
Yeah, she can. These are 2 different functions. Not everybody who's good with finances is necessarily the right person to make decisions about personal living situations and that sort of thing. So they can be 2 different people. And it doesn't have to be a spouse.
Okay, and the final question, what's the 6 documents mean?
Well, the 6 documents would be 2 wills, 2 enduring powers of attorney, and 2 personal directives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The lady at the back, please. Thank you. Right here, Pastor David. Yeah.
Thank you.
I was just going to mention that I work in healthcare and I see it a lot where they don't have any power of attorney and stuff like that, and it becomes really difficult when you're in a situation where there's no one to take care of you and you don't have that facility to take care of yourself anymore. It becomes really difficult on the person, and then it goes over to actually the government who has to make the decision to take care of you, and that's a whole lot of difficulty for both you, your family, and when it comes to finance, even if you need a wheelchair, we have to go through that public director to get it. So it's good that we provide both, and for health-wise, it's better to put your kids, as I've seen in the past, is either your kids or somebody you trust who is younger, because sometimes both you and your husband, your spouse is in the same situation where you do need to have a person taking care of your health situation.
Thank you very much for your experienced perspective. Appreciate that.
I have a few questions. You specified the donation amount. It's good to have it in a percentage. I've heard the opposite, because the percentage can open up your estate to review from the recipient.
No, it doesn't do that. Usually it's encouraged to do things by percentage rather than dollar amount because your estate changes. You know, your bank account goes up and down. You may sell property. So percentage just looks at what's the value of everything at end of life. And so it keeps it in perspective.
Okay, and for a legal signing, you have to go, a commissioner of oaths or someone like that, or who helps you witness that?
Well, there are instructions with the will when it's produced that tells you who can be a witness and who can't be a witness. and so you just have to make sure you follow those instructions. All right, well, thank you so much for your good questions and for your interest, your attention. We really hope that this becomes a useful tool to make good wills more accessible, and we just really appreciate all you do to support God's work. Let's just have a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the many things that you've done for us and the ways that you work in our lives. We ask you to be with us as we contemplate these things and the things that we can do to give back to you. This we pray in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all. Have a wonderful afternoon.